What is going on, YouTube people? Neo Cards Comics here. Today we have a well overdue mail day, and we got some crazy stuff in here, including a personal grail card to close out the year. We've got comics, we've got sports cards, we've got non-sports cards, we've got Marvel cards. I completed a set. I have not done a mail day video since like September. So let's just go ahead and dive in because I got a ton of stuff to get through. So we're closing out the year with one big final mail day. Let's do comics real quick first because they take up the most space and they're sitting right on top. And all of these go directly together. I am working on a X-Men run. X-Men, giant size X-Men 1 up. I don't know what I'm going up to yet. But I have Giant Size X-Men 1. That leads into X-Men 94, which I got at HeroesCon this past year. So I've been working my way up from there. So I've picked up X-Men 95 in a CGC 9. X-Men 96 in a CGC 9.4. And X-Men 98 in a CGC 9.4. So I'm looking for 9.0s or better. In most of these, I'll even go up to, a 9.6. It doesn't really matter, just as long as the price is right. I'm pretty flexible on the grade as long as the eye peel is good. And I have a lot of the issues already because I have the Dark Phoenix Saga, I have Days of Future Past, so I kind of like to cap it, at least in this first section of Giant Size X-Men 1, probably up to like 140, 142, 150-ish, somewhere in there. Because I have a lot of the expensive ones already. The one that I'm hunting on right now is X-Men 97. I have a saved eBay search for that. And essentially what I'm doing is I'm just going one at a time. So I'm not really looking for another one until I find the one that I'm looking for. That's just the methodology for it. Sure, I could go on eBay right now and probably find a ton of them. But what's the fun in that? So this will be a little bit of a process. I picked up 98 before 97 because I actually had a saved search for this one for a really long time, because I always really like the cover. So those are my three most recent comic book pickups. Let me set these off to the side. And then we'll do the other one that takes up a ton of space. I completed a set. I basically leveraged ComC and the fact that Marvel Masterpieces went on to EPAC. And I really like the what if variant cards, the tier 1 through 4s. I loved them when I was ripping the product. Those are the comic book covers. And once they went to EPAC, everyone started undercutting each other on ComC, and it's real easy to complete a set using ComC. I just made a spreadsheet of what I had because I had ripped a handful of boxes and then filled in with what I needed. I picked up one of these really nice binders. I can link to it down below. This is actually designed to hold top loaders. So as you can see, I have the cards in top loaders. This entire set is numbered. So there's, for those not familiar with it, there's different levels to the numbering. This base level, I believe, is out of 9.99. And then it drops down to like the next tier, and then the next tier, and tier 4s are out of 99, I believe. No, 3.99. I do not have the tier 5s. Those are numbered, I believe, to 50 or less and are super expensive. Like $1,000 a piece, super expensive. So the way that I did this, because I wanted to display them like old school style, I actually skipped a page in between because I put them in top loaders. Like I said, the top loaders do work, but these cards are thicker, so I had to use thicker top loaders, so they took up a little bit more space. So it was really snug putting them back to back. So I just skipped every other page, and then I have them all set up like this. And let me tell you, it was really fun to throw a set together again. It has been a while since I've done this, as I knock over LeBron. So it was a lot of fun putting a set back together again. I love the artwork on the Dan Dos Santos set. I would like to put the tier 4s together, or tier 5s together rather, at some point in time, but the price point right now is just too high on them. Here's the final page here. So that is a project that I've been working on for a while. And like I said, what I was really waiting for was things to come to ComC. And these binders are great. Like I said, I forget the brand. I think it says on the front. But I'll put an Amazon affiliate link down below if you want something nice. They zip up. And they are great for storage. It takes up a ton of space. Don't mind me, technical difficulties, and accidentally, while swinging the big binder around, hit stop recording. The only problem was I didn't notice it until about 5 minutes later, so I kept on yapping and then just happened to glance down at the timer and realized that it wasn't ticking. So, let's re-record the last 5 minutes of stuff that I recorded. Like I was finishing up, Marvel Masterpieces set, cool binder, careful swinging it around because it'll accidentally stop recording your video when you bump buttons unintentionally. I will link to this in either the video description or a pinned comment or something if you're interested in a nice binder. These do come in various shapes and sizes. Let's get into some singles. Let's get into some sports cards. I got a couple here. We have a Darius Garland Genesis. I FOMO'd into this at the beginning of the season. Cavs are still playing great, but when they were off to a really hot start, I wanted to buy a Cavs card, and I snagged this. Got this on ComC for like $125 with an offer accepted, I believe. It was like $125, $130, somewhere in that range. Pretty solid deal. The Genesis are short printed. I believe this is a pop 30-ish in a PSA 10. So always really liked those cards since that set came out. The other one for the Manny Ramirez PC, we picked up an Incredible auto of him at my local show. Shout out to Michael. He had this in his case, and I actually did not realize that he had one. And as soon as I saw it, closed the deal fairly quickly on this. I think I grabbed this for like $40. Pretty clean auto for Manny. His go a little all over the place in more ways than one, so you got to watch out on his autos. They could be quite streaky. The next little subset of the video. Oh, I have one more sports card. I forgot. I picked this up during the Indians playoff run. I wanted a nice Emmanuel Clase card. His stuff's pretty cheap. They didn't have a ton of stuff out there, and I really like this. This is the Topps Golden Mirror. So this is the SP from 2024 Topps. Great image. Love the like photo effect, Photoshop effect, whatever it is that they did on it for that look. So cool looking card, and these are pretty hard to track down. This was also a ComC pickup. I think this was like 20 or 30 bucks. The gold mirrors do carry quite the premium. In the Marvel card side, I have a handful of Spider-Gwen / Ghost Spiders. I've been slowly working on the metal rainbow, basically. I have the low series red. I don't know why my camera's freaking out. I have the low series red. I picked up the high series red. I've been hunting for this one for a while. This one actually came off eBay auction. Still in the authenticity guarantee sticker. I'll probably end up grading this one with CGC to match all my other ones. But I have both reds now. I already had both pinks. And now I also added in both turquoise. I did not have these either. This is the low series. This is the high series. These are numbered out of 50. The reds are out of 99. I believe the pinks are out of 70 or 75. There is an orange. I don't care. I don't want it. Those are out of 25. I think they look ugly. And it's more just to do with the look of the character. Like the turquoise actually is a little bit of a color match because it matches her webbing. The pink is obviously a color match, and the red's the red. You're going to want the red no matter what. But have those. Also grabbed a Haley Steinfeld from the Into the Spider-Verse set auto. Now, if you're a close viewer of the channel, you might say, don't you own one of those already? And the answer to that question would be, why, yes, I do own one of these already. The one that I own now is a CGC 8.5 This one came up for auction, and because I'm me, and I guess I have a little bit of OCD on some of these things, the one that I own now is an 8.5, but it is in the old CGC label, so it looks like this. The sister copy of this card, which is the one with the inscription on it with her unmasked, I own in a CGC 9 blue label. The way my mind works, I wanted those to match. So I went out and bought another copy in a CGC 9 blue label. So those will match up and pair up together. And then I'll probably either trade or sell the CGC 8.5 since I already have this one. So that's why I ended up with 2 copies of that card. Now, save the best for last. I got 2 more. One is recent Philly card show pickup. I posted this on IG. Talked about it in the vlog. Beta, Counterspell, and a PSA 6. I got what I think is a very strong deal on this card. He had it stickered at 300. I offered 260 and he accepted. There's not a ton of comps on these, but I will say a CGC 5.5 beta just did like basically 260. It was like right in the same range, give or take $5. So I figured a PSA 6, being a higher grade and PSA typically outsells CGC even in TCG, say that 5 times fast. I felt paying basically the CGC 5.5 comp for a PSA 6 was a steal. This card looks great. It is off-centered, but other than that, it looks pretty good. There's a little bit of edge chipping, but not much at all. Like that back looks great. There's very little white showing. Even on the front, there's a little, bottom left, bottom right, top left, a little tiny bit, but I think the card looks absolutely outstanding for a PSA 6. Obviously, the centering in all 4 corners is probably why it got down to a 6, but I think that's a very clean looking 6. So I was happy to add this. This is the first beta Magic card I have owned in God knows how long. I don't want I would love the Power 9. I'm not going to spend that much on Magic cards, but I have a list of cards that I would really like to own in beta. And then last but not least, we saved the monster for the final card. I showed this on the live stream. I posted this on social. This popped up on the ComC auction as well. I just got this in the mail last week. When I saw this pop up on ComC auction, I have a bunch of ComC credit over there, and I've been hunting for this card for a while. Anytime you see one, they're drastically overpriced. So it's one of those cards that you could go on eBay right now and find it, but it's not priced anywhere in the realm of where they sell for. They're like triple the price. So you got to wait out an auction. And the auto on this card can be very sketchy. The signer went off sticker a ton on these. So I was particular about that. And then the couple times one would come up, it just wouldn't be the right time or something. This one, I didn't mind the auto. It was on ComC. I had a bunch of credit. I've been hunting for one forever. Great way to close out the year. So when this popped up, I kind of made up my mind that I was going to be winning this card no matter what. So that put me in a mega bid situation, I guess. Shout out to former content creators that had to retire from YouTube. James Gandolfini, Fans of the Game auto. Yes, it's a sticker. I'm not in love with sticker autos, but what are you going to do? He only has a couple pack pulled autos. He has this, and he has some stuff out of Leaf. They're all sticker autos. He did go off sticker slightly on that little right hook. A lot of these autos, if you really look at these, he goes off sticker, or he went off sticker 3 times, 4 times on a single sticker sometimes. So to find one that is mostly on sticker is pretty good. The card is in okay shape. It's probably a 6 or a 7. These are always typically pretty beat up, as you can see. We got white there, a little white there, not too bad there. A little bit on the back, on the bottom corners. Nothing super crazy, but it's definitely not, minty crisp. And then there is a couple little, I don't think you'll be able to see it through the mag and the sleeve. There's a little surface. You kind of see it there, almost like a fingernail mark, maybe. Little indent there on it. So like I said, probably a 6, maybe a 7 if the grader's feeling generous. But to me, this card wasn't necessarily about the grade per se, as long as it wasn't absolutely destroyed, which this card is clearly not. It obviously, you know, sitting on the desk like this presents great. It's about how good or bad the auto looks. And like I said, this one's not perfect. It's a 9 auto probably. There's a little streak in there and he went off sticker. But beggars can't be choosers when it comes to this card, because a lot of them are jacked up, with the auto just being a complete mess. And like I said, they're on eBay right now, but they're the cheapest one available is actually what I paid for this card. There was a bin sitting at $1,500. I won this at auction at $1,525, but this auto was a lot better than the one on bin. And that's generally where they sell for. Anywhere from 12-ish to 1,600-ish, depending on the quality of the autograph and then obviously, you know, the overall condition of the card. But I love The Sopranos. It's one of my favorite shows of all time. Obviously, James Gandolfini, rest in peace, is no longer with us. I wanted this card for a really long time. I've talked about this card for years, I think, on the channel. Whenever I get asked about like a big non-sports card that I'm chasing, this one was always on a short list. And the time was just right. The time was right, and I pounced on it. So very excited to snag this to close out the year. Spoilers, this will be making another appearance probably next week or so on my end of the year top pickups of 2024, because this is definitely on that list. I don't know if I'll put that list in a particular order, or stuff will just be on it, because kind of loosely working through everything that I bought this year. I had a pretty good year, so. But that's that. We'll close out the video with one Mr. Tony Soprano. Catch you boys and girls on the next one. Peace.